What happened, Tony?
Well, I woke up.
You woke up.
My camera. So I have a desk clamp for what holds my camera up. It's a little arm, right? And I woke up and the arm was just like this. My camera's like pointed at the desk. And I was like, oh shit, everything's broken. So right now I have it stacked on books and then just leaning on my monitor. And one, I'm definitely tilted. And two, I'm just waiting for gravity to take hold and it just to fall off. But
Tony's tilted.
so I got to buy some new gear before next week.
Oh, what a nightmare that is for you. You're gonna
It's
have
one of my
to bike
favorite
there.
things.
Oh, poor Tony.
I love wasting money. I love it.
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
We're the guys that watch the movies from 1999. I think.
I did not look.
I think it was 1999. We watched the old movies, and then we expound our opinions upon them.
Yes, a word that I do not know, but I imagine I do it.
This week, it's a movie that I picked. It's the eponymous. I always forget how to say that word. Movie. I don't know what it means. Also, from 1999, Robin Williams.
This is a 10 out of 10.
Bicentennial Man.
Woo.
Just one. He's just one man. He's one single man.
Woo! So good.
Based on the Robert Heinlein story, based on the Robert Heinlein and Robert Silverberg book.
Have you read either of those things before?
I thumbed through I read some of the plot synopses.
Okay.
To see what subtle differences there were. There's some. I mean, well, of course, both of the original source materials are not love stories, as far as I could tell.
Oh, that's too bad. That's my favorite part of this movie. I'm not gonna. I don't want to tip.
Your favorite
I don't
want to
tip.
Movie.
Dan, I can't tip the bit until we really get into this movie.
So, Bicentennial Man, directed by Christopher Columbus. I believe it was 1999. 2 hours and 11 minutes. I hated this movie. I hated this movie so much.
Oh, thank God!
I hated this movie.
This is
great.
This
movie.
Dan, can I be honest with you?
You loved it.
I loved this movie. We were crying all night. It's so beautiful. I love this movie. I think I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight because, I mean, does it make sense? No, of course not. Does it break all of the rules that it sets up for itself? Yeah, 100%. Every 8 seconds it breaks a rule and you're like, wait, why did you even tell me the rule if you're going to break it? But the love story in this movie got me. I will say it right now, Bicentennial Man, better love story than The Notebook. Hands down. It's not even comparable. The Notebook sucks. This movie's awesome. They end the same, and I love it.
Oh, my God.
I know. I got problems.
I guess
I'm a bit of a sap.
I guess if you buy into their bullshit love story, and I enjoy this movie.
I do hook, line, and sinker. I was in it, and I'll tell you, Naomi's mad at you right now. She's mad at you because she was a mess last night.
Because of how sad she got because of this movie?
Yeah, she was bawling. God. We had Kleenex with us. It was a beautiful moment, Dan. We bit hard on Bicentennial Man. We might have been the only people in the world to ever feel this way, but we felt it. What? Don't give me that look. Let's talk about it.
So, basically, we're in the future a few years.
It's pretty vague.
This family gets a robot delivered to them, and it's a husband and wife, Sam Neill, random other woman, bratty middle kid girl, and Curly Sue.
Random other woman. She is the mother in the Santa Claus. She is Scott Calvin's wife in the Santa Claus. She's great.
Wow. Everybody's like, oh, of course, her.
If you don't watch this Tim Allen's The Santa Claus every year, then you have problems. Okay, I'll say that right now to everybody.
So I think the little girl was Curly Sue, right?
I believe that's right. She wasn't very good though.
No, she's terrible.
I don't want to see her in a leading role. That's all I'm going to say. So
the robot shows up, and it's Robin Williams wearing like a plastic
Okay.
robot suit, and
Okay, time
he's
out.
so
Before
ugly.
you
It's so ugly. It's,
okay.
it's so ugly.
It's some of the worst. Just in general, this movie has some of the worst designs I've ever seen. Like, the costuming makes zero sense. Some people are dressed the same as I would dress right now, and then some people have like weird hula hoops on their bodies. And I was like, why? There's no consistency to whether we're dressing in the future or the present tense. And maybe that's on purpose. Maybe they're like, oh, it's ambiguous. I don't know. But everything is ugly in this movie.
Everything's hideous. Well,
Everything.
I mean, except the sort of knockoff craftsman houses and like his clocks and
Okay.
things, which
The clocks are beautiful.
The
I would
clocks
buy
are-
some of those clocks.
they're okay.
Wait.
They look like they're trying to be like craftsman work,
Sure.
but they're also super sanitized.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Listen, I've never owned a craftsman item in my life. So I buy stuff off the shelf at Target, and I will tell you that these clocks look pretty great.
They look better than Target.
They look
So-
better than Target. Now, hold on. Time out. Before we even get started, I knew we were in trouble
Yeah.
in one of the first lines of the movie, which is when the two delivery guys they park and they look at the house, and one guy goes, wow, nice place. And then the other guy goes, I've seen better. Why is that in? I don't know whether or not this is a nice house now. That doesn't tell me anything about whether or not what I should know about the family. Is this a well-to-do family? Or is this in the future, is this everybody's house? I've seen better. One guy's like, this is a great house. One guy's like, it's not a great house. I know nothing about the world, and it's your first like 3 lines of the movie. And I was like, oh shit, we're in trouble. Nothing's going to make sense here.
It's a joke. That was a joke, Tony.
I know it's a joke, but it's the first introduction to your world you're creating, and you just told me 2 separate opposite things that can't both be true.
Yeah, you've written a garbage joke. They're
Terrible joke, which means nothing, and I'm out.
And that's the problem. Okay, so we're done. It's a terrible movie.
It pulls me back in, baby. Robin Williams pulls me into this movie. I fucking love this guy.
Ah, you love Robin Williams.
I really do. R.I.P.
So they live in this beautiful, gigantic house that
is it just an average house, Dan? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not like a country mansion. It's not a 23-bedroom country mansion, but it's a large house for a small family.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Actually, the kitchen's tiny.
Right. Well, it's very strange. Some of the rooms are giant, and some of the rooms are very small.
Terribly small kitchen, but like the backyard, like has like, you know, an Olympic-sized pool, and it has gardens that go on for 100 miles. Did you know what Sam Neill's character did for a living?
Didn't he make clocks? Isn't that the whole thing?
I mean, they said that. They
Yeah,
said he makes clocks.
I never saw him make a clock. The only person I saw make a clock is Robin Williams, which is interesting.
At one point, they say he makes clocks, but we never see this. He never talks about clocks. He never even sort of chimes in on the robot's clocks.
And not only that, he also doesn't have any clocks in his home. Not until Robin Williams makes clocks. It's like, you don't keep any of your own work?
Well, and does he make artistic clocks, or is he just like, I get China to make me these clocks?
Right, yeah,
he's mass
producing clocks all over the place. Rob Williams comes in, handcrafts this shit. Beautiful.
So,
doesn't make any sense.
The other thing, do any of these people have lives other than the robot? Have lives, friends, character choices?
Yes,
hobbies,
the oldest daughter certainly does. She's just the shittiest person in the world. That's her character.
Well, she has one boyfriend. That's it.
She has a real dirty boy. Like, I don't like this guy at all. He's off my lawn. I'll kick him out right now. I don't like him.
So here comes, they unpack the robot, and then the robot, his head opens up, and there's this giant projection and song and dance thing where he tells us the 3 robotic laws.
Which he breaks over and over.
We're going to talk about those as they break the law.
It's just so funny to me because they make a point they make like a real big point of being like, these are the 3 rules, and we're gonna disobey all of them constantly.
Constantly. The
It's
final
so weird.
the final beat of the
Of
movie
the
is
movie,
the ultimate one.
No!
The ultimate one.
It's so good. Yeah,
No, it's so
it's
terrible.
unbelievable. I mean, that part made me laugh. So like, I
Made you laugh.
cried
Oh,
and then I
so-
laughed. It's beautiful. This is a perfect movie.
So when the robots break the robotic laws, that's a joke for you.
Well, so here's the thing though, Dan, is you have to see it coming because they set it up so nicely in the movie where one of the first things he does is breaks one of the rules. So it's fine.
So the rules are basically robot can't hurt human, robot's got to make sure human doesn't get hurt, and robot's not going to do anything to hurt itself.
Unless each law contradicts the previous, because those are like cascading rules.
So the robot, if somebody's shooting at you, the robot will get in the way to hurt himself to avoid you being hurt. Which, of course, we never do anything. We never... Actually, do we ever even address the laws? Does he ever say, I can't do that because of this law? Or I'm doing this because of a law? Is there any point?
I feel like he did one time, but it was in a way that also didn't make sense. I feel like they tried to explain a moment, and then it's like, well, but you're kind of doing it as you're... So I do think they said it one time, though.
So he does his crazy presentation, and everybody's terrified of him except the Sam Neill character.
Yeah.
They're all terrified. Now, Tony, when you buy a new car, you buy an Alexa, and you say, Alexa, welcome to my home. Does Alexa scream at you and act like a freak to try to turn you off to Alexa?
I don't know. I've never bought an Alexa because I don't want an AI in my house. Okay, I'll just tell you that. But if she did, I would return her immediately because that's not what you want to feel in your home. You don't want to feel like you're in danger from the thing you just bought.
So then we set up this whole thing where it's like, do you want him with or without a personality chip?
Yeah, which is super weird.
Does he seem to have a personality that is almost exactly the same through the entire movie?
And immediately. He comes out with a personality. He's not it's so interesting because you meet other robots throughout the movie, and there's the one at the robot facility that's like, welcome to this place. Welcome to this place. And it's like, that's what he should be like in the beginning, technically. But he's never like, he comes out boisterous, having a great time. Good for him.
Which actually, I'm gonna forgive this movie that one sin of it, because
I forgive all of its sins.
He's broken. This is a broken robot.
Sure.
So it makes sense. So actually, I take it back. So immediately, before doing anything else with this robot, he marches him downstairs to the basement, and he's like, you're living here in the basement.
How big do you think the basement is, Dan? And let me explain to you why I asked this. It's got to be huge because the part that they go to right now looks fine. Looks like a regular basement. But then we cut to a cleaning montage, and there is a place in this basement that is so covered in cobwebs and dust. It's been there for hundreds of years.
Yes.
And it doesn't make any... they just clean one corner? Little corner every day?
No one's ever cleaned that basement. He's the only one that's ever cleaned.
But the part that they go to right now is totally clean.
And they have a shitty washer and dryer. And you're just I don't understand this at all.
None of it makes any sense.
And more importantly, if you were to buy expensive, and I guess in the book, they bought him, and typically the robots were leased. And so he was the dude that got him was so wealthy, he just bought the robot outright, which is very...
Got it.
Non-typical.
It's uncommon. Okay.
Yeah.
So good for
you
him.
Don't put your robot in the basement to get moldy and rusty.
But thank God they do, Dan, because when he charges seconds later, he emits the brightest lights I've ever seen in my life. If he's anywhere else in the house, you're awake the whole time. Can you imagine being in a 2-bedroom apartment? He just lights up the whole thing like it's midday. You can't sleep.
Tony, have you ever had a Roomba or seen a Roomba?
Of course, that I do have.
How much noise does your Roomba make?
Not a ton, but some.
If your Roomba, when it was cruising around doing its thing, if it went like this, squeaky, 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 squeaky,
I would step on it, and it would break into a million pieces.
How much noise does this stupid Robin Williams robot make?
He makes a ton. Every movement he makes. But what's interesting is he gets all these upgrades throughout his lifetime.
The movie, yes.
But up
He
until he
doesn't still
becomes like
squeak when he's fully human, does he?
Right.
Does
No.
he still squeak when he's fully human?
No, not when he's full human, but pretty much up until then, he's squeaking. And that's like 100 years of his lifetime. Like, that's the first thing I fix. I'm like, I'll just oil my joints just a little bit, and then I'm good to go, guys.
He's so squeaky.
He's so squeaky.
So the family leaves. They give him a job. I don't know what that means. Oh, they give him a job to clean the basement. He cleans the whole basement out and finds a spider and puts the spider in the garden, show that he's caring.
Right, yeah, it's got feelings.
Then he makes them dinner. He makes this incredible dinner, and everybody's like amazed that he made them this incredible dinner.
Yeah, because no one's ever cooked for them before.
Now,
Clearly.
Tony.
Yeah.
If you brought home if you just ordered like a giant robot into your house, would your wife be like? You'd have to consult with her about this robot, right?
Now, I make the decisions in my house, okay?
Oh yeah, right. You've never made a decision in your life.
I don't even like making decisions. Thank God I have someone that likes to make them for me.
Okay, so if your wife just brought a robot into the house,
yeah,
so I think it doesn't make any sense. I mean, another thing that doesn't make any sense. It's like nobody's relieved about this robot. Like the wife,
he did in fact make the decision without them because he's like, hey, everyone come downstairs. I have a surprise for you.
Yes.
Not a good idea.
So it makes dinner. Everybody's amazing dinner. Then we cut to, post dinner. Yep. What are the parents doing?
I have no idea. What are they doing? Are they talking?
Fucking playing chess.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember this. And then he checkmate. Science.
It's so stupid. Chess. So now
you don't like playing chess?
Like that is their one leisure activity they do other than leave the children on the beach. They do that a lot. They just leave the children on the beach. It's like
children can take care of themselves, Dan. Okay, they're reverting back to the 80s style of parenting, where it's just like, go have fun. I don't care.
Actually, I'm going to posit that is their beach. Actually, they don't go to the beach. They just walk down to their beach. That's why they're there.
I have questions on beach management throughout this movie. I'm not going to lie to you.
Because there's other times where they are just at that beach without traveling. Like you and I, if we want to go to the beach, we have to travel to the beach. They're just at beach.
Yeah, they don't have to
plan beach. So I think the beach is part of their house. Actually.
But then how does Robin Williams build a house on the beach? Not allowed, by the way.
Oh, because it's their beach.
But it doesn't... But... Is
right?
it?
If it's their beach, you can just build a house on the beach.
But then why has the dad not seen him in 15 years? That doesn't make any sense.
He's not allowed to come to the house.
So you're saying they're like 40 feet apart on the beach and on land and they never see each other, and that's... Nah, I don't buy it. Well, I think Robin Williams just built a house randomly on a beach somewhere and everyone's like, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
The government doesn't mind. So
the bratty daughter takes control of the robot and says, jump out the window. And so he doesn't jump out no. I knew what was going to happen, but I knew if I was writing this stupid movie, what I would do is he would jump out the thing and then he'd land, and then he'd come back up. And it'd be this whole bit where she'd be trying to do these things. And we'd have this sort of comedic thing where she's trying to make him do bad things. And then he keeps thwarting her. And it would actually be entertaining and funny. Yeah. This was so incredibly stupid.
It gets even dumber just a second later, but let's focus on the robot part first. Because here's the thing, Dan, is he can't actually do this, right? Because this is the third law. He can't hurt himself.
No, he knows he'll hurt himself.
And he doesn't jump out the window. He just tilts out. Like it doesn't he doesn't even follow the directions. She says, jump out the window. And he just goes, I'm going to topple out the window. You can't do that, robot. That's against the rules on 2 counts.
And they're playing the chess, I think, still. And
this is the part that made me upset.
Goes by the window. Yeah. Like this robot that weighs 1,000 pounds and hits their garden. And they're all like, did you hear something?
He says, did you hear something? First of all, of course you heard something. That is ridiculous. It's 5 feet away from you. But her response to that is, was that an earthquake? So first of all, you're telling me that the ground fucking shook? That and your first response is, did you hear something? No, I felt something, bitch. The whole ground just moved because a giant robot fell out of the sky. Ridiculous. But also then they just don't do anything. They hear it, they acknowledge this and like, it's fine. One of your kids could have just died. Could have just fallen out the window and died, and you don't even care.
This is like in Howard the Duck when he shoots through the naked lady duck and she just sits there doing her bath. Like,
just common occurrence.
Common occurrence.
It's just ridiculous. Come on,
So
guys. Do better.
He comes in and he says, he's all broken. And he's like, ding, ding, ding. And then he's like, I'll just go fix myself.
Yep.
So this is a robot that can fix itself.
Except for when he cuts off his thumb and needs to go get fixed by someone else. What are you talking about, guys? It doesn't make any sense. You can't set up that he can fix himself and then make him not fix himself.
And my another thing I truly hated is he's like, gink, 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 and skipping, and he hits him and he stops skipping.
Yeah, like a record player. Or what
like
is that what used to hit? What did you hit?
What? You used to hit TVs.
TVs, yeah, with the static. You're like, da, bunny ears. Yep.
You used to hit TVs, and it affected the TV all the time. And it wasn't just because of the antennas. There was internal stuff in TVs that you would hit, and the TV would kind of reset.
That's amazing. Good for us. Humans are the best.
Hitting a thing was there's two things you hit. You hit vending machines where you don't get your candy bar.
You damn right I do.
Which we're going to talk about at the end of the show.
Oh.
And then you hit TVs when they're on the fritz. And sometimes it works.
Sometimes, but I bet sometimes it doesn't.
No, probably a lot of times it doesn't. So he hits the robot to get the robot to work. So then he says, of course, no more, says the kids, no more trying to kill the robot.
Which shouldn't even matter because he can't kill himself. But it's fine. Don't worry about it.
So now the robot, they're on the beach. The robot's telling the brat girl, get down off those rocks, you'll hurt yourself. And then little girl's playing with her little glass horse, and he's like, let me see that. And like, he doesn't even reach for it or grab it or like overestimate his strength and destroy it, something like that. No, he just like,
which would have made a lot of sense.
Yes, of course. That's the bit. The bit is he doesn't know, he regulates incorrectly as opposed to him being a clumsy piece of shit oaf.
Right, because he's a robot, guys. Like, he should be very precise. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird.
So the little girl's like, I hate you. Get away from me. I hate you.
And this is the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. Listen, it's the only time I'm going to call her out. She's very little. Like, it's fine. It's acting is hard and you're very small. But this is the most unbelievable. She's like, I hate you. Get away from me. And I'm just like, where?
She's like,
no one could pull any emotion out of this girl. What the hell?
Chris Columbus. There's the least
Chris
emotional
Columbus,
movie
take
ever.
a toy of hers, break it in front of her, and roll the camera. No, that's probably not allowed.
So he goes, reads books, learns how to be a master woodworker, and then makes her a little wood horse and gives it to her. She's like, wow, best present ever. And then in return, she gives him a stuffed dog, which we never see again in the movie.
Oh, Dan, you're so wrong about this.
Oh, do we see
you
the
don't see the stuffed animal? What was the stuffed animal's name?
I don't have no clue.
It was Wolfie. She said, this is Wolfie, and now he's yours. And then when he gets a dog, he names the dog Wolfie, and I fucking cried.
Tony cried when he named the dog Wolfie.
Was beautiful.
He named the dog Wolfie because he wants to have sex with an 8-year-old. Got it.
There is some weird stuff.
You cried when he had sex with the equivalent of the person that he saw as an 8-year-old. Okay, that's cool.
No, I didn't cry then. Don't worry about that. By that point, I'm fully on board the train.
So Sam Neill sees the horse and he's all like, this is strange. A robot should not be able to create a creative horse.
This is, to me, the worst part of the movie. This scene is the worst part of the movie.
What he sees and considers the horse, and that's the worst scene in this movie. Not him,
the wife. She goes, are you sure you made that? Or did you, this is her direct quote, or did you use the computer to plot out your little horse? Bitch, he is the computer. He is a computer. That's what he is. How are they surprised by this? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in a movie. Did you use a computer? He is made out of computer parts. It's so stupid.
So Then
Yeah.
he's in the basement. Samuel wakes up and he's like, ugh. He goes down to the basement and he's on the stairs and he's looking down and there's the robot listening to opera.
Yeah, beautiful. Terrible music, but I get it. That's what you're supposed to make babies listen to. Did you know that? That's what I read.
If you want babies to be stupid.
I believe it was the other thing. I think it was smart. I think that's what they said.
I sure wasn't stupid.
I'm not. Now I don't know. I have to go back and I'll read it.
So,
oh my god!
Finds him listening to opera. Should the robot notice him on the stairs?
Well, yeah, he's not very observant for a robot. That's for sure. He's just right behind him. he's a dumb robot. What are you gonna do?
So then they take him to the robot factory. They bring the guy from Mighty Wind, who's the lawyer.
He's from everything. Dodgeball.
Oh no, we don't have the lawyer yet. But they go to the robot factory and he shows them the animals because I guess he made a bunch of them in the interim. Of
course. Yeah, why not? Because he likes making them.
And of course, he steals. Did he have the horse with him too?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't know.
So he wants to. He goes there and he's like, I want to know why he enjoys making these animals.
Yeah,
that's his main question.
That's his one. Yeah,
that's his question. Why does he enjoy making animals?
Because he shouldn't enjoy anything. He's a robot.
Well, more importantly, this is so that we Stephen Root's playing the dude, and we do this whole thing where he's like, "Show me the robot, give me back the robot, I need this robot," and he acts all nefarious.
And then
what?
Nothing. And then nothing. You see him again 50 years later when he's an old man. How does that not come up again in the movie?
Oh, they see him again. Because they go with the lawyer, don't they?
They go with, that's when he's old. That's when he's old and white haired.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, yeah, well, this guy's going to sue you for the money that he'll make for eternity because he's a robot and he'll never die. Blah, blah, blah. My point is this guy sees a robot that is learning on its own. AI has taken a leap here. And you never come back to it. He just is like, yeah, okay, never mind. You can have him. You're right. I'm sorry I tried to sell him or buy him back from you. He's yours. What? No way.
There's no conflict in this movie.
Correct.
And normally what a movie would do is right at this point, we would set up a trial where he would try and get that robot back and we'd try and really establish if this is a sentient robot. And this robot would become the center of attention for the world.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We don't do any of that.
Thank goodness, because the love story that blooms is so beautiful, Dan.
So terrible. So the whole thing is he's like, I'm going to take you off your duties, except all the cleaning duties and the cooking duties and all the other duties.
Which duties is duties? What is he not doing anymore? I honestly don't know. It sounds like he's still doing everything, but then also working in the clocking business. I don't know.
And then he's also, and you're going to make clocks, which we're going to sell. And then I'm going to teach you. And we do a couple little teaching things, which are these bits God. That they want to be Robin Williams being funny, and they're all the I don't understand you because I'm a robot bits are so painful.
Yeah, although it's funny.
Creation. What about all those other sperms?
Yeah,
those other sperms died.
Why?
Oh, pour one out for all the other sperms that die.
Pour one out for my homies. Here's what I don't understand is I feel like they really go 0 to 60 in that scene because they're just talking about normal things and then they do one cut and they're like, well, what about sex? I put my pee in a what? I was like, what? This is a left turn out of nowhere. Why are you teaching him about sex? He's a robot. He can't have sex. And then I'm like, oh, because they're setting it up later that he's going to give himself a penis and have sex, which is so weird, but beautiful. Just wonderful
beautiful.
stuff.
It's beautiful. Robot.
I love it.
Penis pounding away 24/7. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh my God. Pounding away. Oh, shit.
They teach him humor. We do these whole bits with jokes. And then he goes downstairs. And then at the only time in the whole movie, he's like, I will talk quickly and tell like that's how anyone has ever told a joke.
It's super weird because he never talks that fast any other time. So why would he suddenly feel like he needs to talk faster? Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's, sets up a great joke about comedic timing from Sam Neill. A+, guys.
The joke this was a somewhat humorous scene if it led somewhere, but it didn't make any
Or
sense.
if it had been led to this point. Like
Sure.
if there were signs that we would get to this robot who can't have comedic timing because he talks too fast, great.
So this is when the whole family, except the bratty daughter, falls in love with him.
Yeah, man, she is ice cold. She never comes around. It just breaks my heart.
So then the little girl teaches him a duet on piano, and then 20 years pass.
Yeah, boy, I did not see that coming. That was a fast transition for me. I was like, whoa.
And so in this 20 years or so, she goes from being, did it say 20 years pass? I wrote 20 years pass, so maybe 20 years
I don't know. I don't remember what they said here. There was a lot of numbers thrown at us throughout the movie, though, for years passing.
So basically, 20 years pass, and an 8-year-old becomes like someone in their late 30s.
Minimum. I mean, like, yeah, dude. It was, she was pretty old.
The funniest thing is she's only 34. The actress was only 34 when they shot this movie.
Tough life.
But for some insane reason, they give her the oldest haircut and the oldest look in the movie. Because later on, when she comes back for the reprise as like her own granddaughter, she looks young.
Yeah, correct. And it's like, I wasn't sure. I get very confused about the time jumps because when he comes back, is she supposed to be the same age that she was at the piano? Hard to say. Hard
8?
to say. No, not 8, Dan. This is not a sick movie. Okay, this is a beautiful love tale between two consenting adults and a robot. One consenting adult and a robot.
The robot doesn't have to consent. It's a robot. You can do whatever you want to it.
No, you can't. That's the whole point. He's free. He's free. Oh, my God.
We're going to talk about robot love later, too.
Oh, God. Okay.
So the middle girl is still... the middle girl has grown up to be the world's trampiest slut. She's like super hot. Super hot.
Oh, my God. Bro, really?
Spiky hair, but she's got
Dan.
literally the dirtiest motorcycle boyfriend ever. He's so dirty.
Just the worst guy in the world. Oh,
he's so gross.
Skis. The skis of the century.
So he's made millions of clocks, and then she decides that he should get his money for the clocks. Because I guess Sam Neill was like just keeping all the money because he loves gold.
Like, it's weird that it took so long to have this conversation, right?
Well, yeah. So you can't invest your emotions in a machine. So they go to a lawyer. This is really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyer's the guy from, what's his name? Mighty Wind. Who's that guy? Real funny guy.
John Michael Higgins.
Is that his name?
It's something like that. Yeah.
Super funny guy. I just saw him in a commercial. Never ages. He's the exact same age.
He's also in Fired Up, if you care, because it's the greatest film of all time.
It's funny. Yeah. So the lawyer, and there's up on the 34th floor, and the robot's afraid of heights.
Because of the window that he jumped out of. He's got PTSD from the window. Well, you don't buy it? I thought it was a wonderful callback.
It's just weird, though.
Yeah, it's super weird. What are you going to do?
So they want to get him a bank account, and I guess they just get him a bank account.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's not illegal, so I guess it's legal, which I don't know if that's how laws work.
No, it's not how laws work. If I march into the bank and say, I want to get a bank account for my dog, they're going to be like, no.
No. And it's like, well, where's the law that tells me I can't? You better do it. That's what I'll do from now on. If there's not a specific law that says I cannot do it, I'm going to do it.
So they go downstairs. So we go back. We're back at the house, and Lil Miss, so terrible. She's talking about how she's getting
like the
married.
Nickname, Little Miss?
And she looks at the robot, and she's like horny for the robot.
Yeah, man. She's been in love with him for a long time.
He doesn't care.
Well, he cares.
He doesn't get any of the subtext. He doesn't get anything. He saws off
right. Exactly. He doesn't understand it yet. Not until a little bit later.
So he saws off his own thumb.
Right. So first of all, let's talk about saw safety for anyone that watched this movie. If somebody's on a power saw, okay, and they're sawing away, don't come up behind them. A, scare them, and B, push them in the back. Bad things are going to happen, guys.
More
Idiots.
importantly, that robot should be able to stop before its finger gets cut off.
Well, yeah, because he's a robot. Yeah. You're caught up too much on him being a robot, Dan.
I keep on expecting to act like a robot, and he's not a robot. He's Robin Williams in a robot suit.
Exactly. As soon as you get your head around that, this movie becomes very wonderful.
So they're like, okay, you got to fix. They go back to the robot dude, and then you got to fix my robot. If you don't fix my robot, or if you look at his brain,
yeah, exactly.
We'll do a bunch of law. We'll do a bunch of law stuff.
That's when we're gonna sue you. That's right.
A bunch of law stuff, and so they're like, oh.
I guess I won't look in his brain. He would still do it.
They would totally do that.
Yeah, like care. Without a doubt, without even thinking twice.
Totally, they'd say, "Oh, oops," and I mean, like, this is a robot company, right? What are you? How much are you going to sue the robot company for?
Not more than they've made.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, they're going to sue him for like an infinite amount of clocks. You know how many judges would be like, no,
that's dumb.
That's dumb.
Get out of here, you idiots.
So they make him more of a human being. Robot clocks are, I don't know what this is. And then the stupid woman has a wedding and he wears a tuxedo and he looks like a fucking clown. How hard do you think they worked to try to make a hat fit on his head? Like, give him a hat.
Oh, there were weeks where they were like, well, let's just try one more fit and see if it works. And it didn't. It never did. It's too bad because I would have loved a top hat. I think it really would have, tails and a top hat. That's a good look, Robot Man.
So in the new improved version of him, does he look any better? Or does he look just more like Robin Williams and less like a robot?
He actually, to me, he looks scarier because the smile on when he does the weird smile, it's very scary. I would run away. It's not good. I don't like it at all.
So she gets married. He's missed his chance. He kind of realizes. So in the Tony emotional reading of this, is the wedding where he realizes that he loved her?
Not the wedding, it's the engagement party when he's hiding behind the bush. Him and Oliver Platt are hiding behind bushes, and Oliver Platt is like, hey.
That's later. Okay, so so he's not in love with
It's before she gets married, though.
Well, this is the first marriage of the real Lil Miss.
Yeah, this is Little Miss, right? Oh, no, you're right.
So he's not in love with her yet, exactly.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my fault.
So 12 years later, she's getting older. She's got a kid. The kid's a boy. The kid's a piece of shit.
Yeah. A lot of kids are pieces of shit in this movie. I don't know if you caught that.
Well, of course.
I don't know what they're trying to say. But...
Oh, because this family is privileged garbage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, white people.
So he's like, comes there and he's like, I want to attain my freedom. I want to buy my freedom with all the money that I have. And so they go see Sam Neill. And
Sam Neill is pissed.
Why is he pissed?
I don't know, Dan.
No reason for him to be pissed.
He's like, oh, because you want to leave? He's like, no, I don't want to leave. I just want to be free. I'll still be here. He's like, oh, you want to leave? I don't understand what's happening at all.
It's this terrible emotional scene that makes no sense. Has no emotional resonance.
They couldn't figure out how to make it organic, so they're like, just fuck it. Just do this scene so he can leave. I don't know how to make it work. People will buy it. And guess what? I did. I'm all on board.
You were on board with that? You like that?
I forgive it. I forgive it because I'm like, what comes after is so good, guys.
We're waiting to get to that. So good. Oh, God.
I know. I can't wait. Wait.
More pages of this terrible movie. He builds a house by the sea. 16 years old later, Pops is dying. So he goes there, and Pops is like, I'm glad you're free. I die.
Well, first of all, he's like, I was wrong. I'm glad you're free. It took you that long to realize that you were being an idiot in that scene? I don't buy it. So
he hires a lawyer who is Bradley Cooper, who is Lil Miss's son, who's a total ass still as an
Bradley
adult.
Whitford. Let's not confuse people. Whitford. Bradley Cooper not in this movie. Bradley Whitford, the better Bradley in this movie.
Oh, he's good.
I love Bradley Whitford, and when he's allowed to just play like a fucking weasel asshole, he's so good at it.
He's very
I love
weaselly.
it. Yeah.
So he wants to go find his people, so he travels the world as a robot, hunting down all the other robots to see if any of them work.
Why were all of them dead, Dan? I didn't understand. So
They
are
weren't
they?
all dead. He found one live one.
He
Didn't
found one live one, but we saw like 6 dead ones. I'm confused. One, how you find a dead decommissioned robot? I don't understand that.
Why?
But
Why you would leave it out in the tractor in the field?
exactly, yeah, just like random. Like what happened? Something happened in this world that we don't know about.
Sure.
That's what I know, and I'm a little upset. I would like to know what happened because he finds almost all dead robots, and then he finds one alive robot who apparently has been like recommissioned to be an asshole, and I was really confused.
So he finds the one robot, and it's a girl. It's back in San Francisco. She's hot. She does a sexy dance.
Sure, he finds this robot too. Remember, he found a robot on the baseball field though.
The
baseball
yeah,
diamond.
but that one had no personality. It was just
He had a personality. He was an asshole. He was a dick. He was like, "Get off the field!" But yeah, he finds this bubbly girl.
Finds the bubbly girl. She's like doing a sexy dance. He follows her home, and then she says, "Dancing is the sportiest sport." Oh, she's so horrible. And then she meets Oliver Platt, who has like a robot who fixes robots. Tony,
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why there's a bunch of his robots like him in this place when he found all the robots?
No. Next question, please.
Okay.
If I was on trial, I would say plead the fifth.
I mean, maybe those were different models, I guess, but
They don't look like different models, though. They look identical.
Like I did.
I don't know.
Somebody needs money and somebody has money, so they become friends.
Best friends. Yeah.
And then, so Oliver makes him a rubber face, and he looks at his mirror and he screams.
Well, hold on. He takes off his robot face. This is very funny to me.
That's when he screams, when he sees his own robot face.
Takes off the robot face and he sees his insides and he looks in the mirror and he screams, and then the other robot screams and then he screams again. I thought it was very funny. And they're like, "What happened?" He's like, what did he say? Shit.
Something
I don't remember what he said.
It was stupid.
No, it was funny. He's like, I saw my inside. I don't know. My true self, something like that.
So when he repairs himself and does stuff to himself, he's never taken off his face before.
I don't know how much he repairs himself, Dan. It's very ambiguous. He can't fix a thumb, but he can fix internal damage when he falls out a window. I don't know.
So he goes back to the old homestead and he just lets himself in, just walks in.
Yeah, well, because it's his house, you know?
And then he meets, what's her name, as the granddaughter of Lil Miss.
Yes, yep.
And we have this whole misunderstanding, and they just dislike each other instantly.
Yes, which is how all great relationships start.
Yes, but also later in the movie, he says, "I fell in love with you at first sight."
Well, I mean, you know why, right? Because she looked like the woman that he was in love with when he was younger.
But he wasn't in love with her. He didn't act like he was in love with her when he walked in that door and saw her for the first time. He was annoyed by her, and he was an asshole.
At the first second he did, but then she was like, "Who are you? I don't know you. What's going on?" And then she was like rude to him. And he doesn't like rude people. That's what you got to learn, Dan, is he doesn't like rudeness. He's very polite and he has feelings. So when she was rude, he was like, "What the hell's going on here, you little twerp?"
Oh, so he's like a snowflake.
Yeah. yeah, a little bit.
So he okay, so they hate each other, but he loves her, really.
Yes. So that's classic. Tale as old as time.
And then he gets a stray dog that he names after the dog that he had when he was a kid. And
just beautiful.
Tony starts to cry.
I'll tell you, as soon as he gets his Robin Williams face, that's where this movie really takes off for me. Everything after this, I love.
You love. No, not everything.
I did feel like the movie ended 4 or 5 times, though. And it kept confusing me that there was more time left.
So he goes to see Little Miss at her apartment for a noble reason. Because he wants to talk about how he needs family.
Yes.
They are instantly rude to each other. She says that she's a preservation architect.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
Not a thing? Okay.
Not a thing. Not at all a thing.
I bought it. I was like, okay, cool. You're doing stuff.
She could be an architectural restorer. that would make a
No.
lot of sense. But she's like,
Mm-mm.
she's basically she restores any kind of antiques from things that are 50
Well,
years
I thought
old to
she
1,000,000 years old.
preserves them. So like you don't
No,
even need restorers anymore because she's keeping it pretty. It's like the old saying, you don't got to get ready if you stay ready. You don't have to. I don't know.
So there's a piece of sculpture on
Uh-huh.
the table, which I think is her actual artwork, which is this nice little
She says it's
geometric thing.
not. She says she's just restoring it.
Oh, she's just restoring it.
Yes, which is why this is so funny.
And he criticizes it. He says, this looks like garbage.
He immediately said it's ugly, and he makes this great joke. He's like, well, how ugly was it before you started restoring it? Great joke, guys. Made me laugh.
He's in love with her, and he's criticizing her work and being a total ass.
Dan, when was the last time you dated? Let me tell you how it works. You have to break them down. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go. The whole key to a relationship.
The dating tips.
You need to destroy their personality and destroy their will to love.
Well, it's about ego, Dan. They have to become. They have to have no self-confidence whatsoever. Then you swoop in like a Prince Charming. Classic 90s love story.
So Little Miss is in the hospital. She's dying. She's had a stroke.
Yeah.
She's holding on to his horse because she loves that horse so much.
Because they're in love.
And then, no, they're not. She's in love with him. He's in love with her daughter.
Granddaughter.
So this is the point at which he figures out that humans die.
Which is a little confusing.
How is that a little confusing, Tony?
Well, several people have already died in his life. But,
really?
it takes a few for you to realize, like, oh, this must keep happening. I didn't do any research on humans in the thousands of books I read. So, it's fine.
So, he decides that he needs to become biological. And then, so he just...
And vice versa.
He just sketches it out. All these things that are like brand
smart.
New robot, human, biological things that will save the world, and he will make $1 billion.
Sure.
And then he's like, because he's still a clumsy, hideous robot, he breaks the Victrola, and then he takes it to Lil Miss Part 2. And I was like, why is he's fixed that Victrola before? Why doesn't he just fix it? But he says to her, I could do it, but you could do it better.
Yep, look at him. So you break them down, and then you build them back up, and then they're dependent on you for their self-confidence. Dan, this is classic dating 101, okay?
Such a terrible... Well, I guess that's what a robot would do. It would use all these tactics to break down and destroy its enemy.
You're gosh darn right. He knows what he's doing.
So they go for a walk, and that's where she falls in love with him. Because they go for a walk, and she's like, I like you. And he's like, why do you like me? And she says, because you're proper and sweet.
Yeah, he is. He's a true gentleman.
Okay, next scene, he kills the female robot. Why does he kill the female robot, Tony?
He doesn't kill her, Dan. He just physically abuses her. Okay? She's still alive.
That robot. Why does he attack?
She's very annoying. Okay? Sometimes you gotta put people in their place.
So when somebody annoys you, Tony, do you go for power tools and start to operate on them?
I got 2 power tools right here. Boom, boom. Fists of fury, baby. I will knock your block off. No, so what happens is the scene.
What happens, Tony? Tony, tell me what happens.
Just a little bit before, Oliver Platt is giving him new things that'll make him feel. So this is the first time he's ever felt annoyed. So he doesn't know how to handle it. So he just goes on a little bit of a beating spree. It's fine.
It's fine. So he kills a female robot, but they put it back together. And then they continue to fall in love over chess because his grandparents played chess. So here comes chess.
They love chess in this movie.
Then
it's the sport of the future.
There's a big party and they dance.
He's a very good dancer.
And then they have a big conversation in the park, and she's like, "You'll always be a machine, and I can't invest my emotions in a machine. You're garbage."
Yeah, basically. And then he's like, "You're right. Time to not be a machine no more."
So he lets himself into her apartment.
Sure, yeah.
And then
You
he's
you
like,
say that like that's a bad thing.
I've made it so I can feel pain. And then she's like, kiss me. And then they like make out. And then she's like, I'm getting married. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
Tony, if right
Yes.
before you were going to get married, you like made out with a machine,
Okay. Yeah, I did that, but continue.
you like got your love pillow and you were like making out with it.
Yeah. Are you telling me you didn't? You got to get your wedding day jitters out, dude. That's the big part of the wedding.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it's for listen. They're star-crossed lovers. It's forbidden, and finally he's like, I can give you what you need, because she's like, you can't give me what I need. You can't give me what I need, and then finally he's like, I can give you what I need. She's like, oh shit, this guy can't give me what I need, but you do. So now I'm torn because I love you both, but you're better. You know what I'm saying?
But you're a robot, so I can't love you. It's forbidden.
Yet he's working on it.
So she's like, you got to do the wrong thing. You got to follow your heart. So he goes back to the robot thing with Oliver Platt, and the lady robot's acting all weird because he put the personality chip in her, and the personality chip makes her total bitch, as opposed to the other personality chip, which made her like fun.
Yeah, I was a little confused because his line is like, well, I swapped the chip. And I was like, well, but what is the new chip that you gave her? Like,
Bitch.
why is it the bitch chip?
Bitch chip. Why? Why would you?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. If he would have, I don't know.
He would have taken her personality chip out and she was neutral, and then stupid Robin Williams robot realized, oh.
But no.
No, not this movie. This movie's so stupid.
No.
So he goes to church to talk her out of the marriage. Oh, wait, no. Oh, then they have the engagement party, and he's getting jealous, and they hide and observe.
And it's a fun little scene. It's great.
You love that scene. Then he goes.
I enjoyed it. That was fun.
So they go to the church to talk her out of it, of marriage, and then he's like, you light up a room, then you make me laugh, and then kiss me. Yeah. And then he does something that he's never done in the movie before. He robotically reads her. He looks at her pulse and all these things to manipulate her more. And then they kiss.
Whoa. Manipulator. He's just playing the cards that he has, okay? It's not manipulation, Dan.
It's not manipulation?
Well, hold on. Did her pulse not quicken? I think it did. It did, because so then it's not manipulation. He's just pointing it out to let her know, like, hey, I know you're horny.
He's pointing it out to let her know that he knows what she's feeling and that she has to act. See, that's not fair.
It is fair. All's fair in love and war. That's a saying, Dan. It's a saying.
So then they go and what do they do, Tony?
Boom.
And then she's convinced.
Well, would you not be convinced? Listen, he's got to be a better lover than like a human, because A, the stamina has got to be incredible, but B, like, he can read your body. He just told me he can read, like, he knows what you want, when you want it, and he's gonna give it to you.
You're seeing like a different movie than this. See, you're sitting there watching a movie that you're constructing in your head, where they actually use the things that they say in this movie, as opposed to like sort of throw them out there and then don't clarify.
100%. I'm filling in these blanks, baby, and it is delightful. So
they have sex. And then the next morning, his stomach growls and he farts.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And then he
swing and a miss.
Eats for the first time.
Yeah. Yep. And he eats. By the way, he eats way too much. He would be so sick. Like, his stomach is not used to expanding like that. He would be so sick.
It's a robot stomach, so he'll be able to know exactly how much he can eat. It doesn't matter.
You would think so, but just based on the other robot things he's done, he will not know that. He is not that smart.
So he proclaims that we'll never be accepted as a couple because I'm a robot and you're a human.
That's right.
And so Tony, talk about how he tries to fix that.
He tries to pass a law, baby.
A law. And who decides this law?
Some sort of council. I don't know who they are. I honestly don't know.
They don't have a
somebody
name.
Is a council and they voted.
Who's the council made up of?
People? I don't know.
Okay, we go to this weird building. Where each country has a representative.
Oh, so he's at the United Nations. Got it. He's at the UN. They make all the rules, baby.
Do they pass bills at the United Nations, Tony?
In the future, they do. They run the world.
So he wants a bill to proclaim him a human being.
Yeah.
And he's like sort of arguing his case. And they're like, you're not part of the gene pool. You're artificial. And then he's like, oh, but you got your robot kidney in you that I made.
That's right.
And they're like, well, you got a positronic brain that makes you immortal. And so then,
which is a fair point. It's a fair point.
So who decides the fate of him, Tony?
Just the one guy, I think.
Just the one guy. They don't take a vote.
Yeah.
Nobody else argues. It's not like this side, that side. Just this one guy's like, nah.
Well,
no.
he's the king of Earth. I don't know if you know this,
Dan.
He's the king of Earth.
KOE, King of Earth. That's who he is, King of Earth. The King of Earth decides against his bill, which might become a law.
Yeah, I don't listen. There's a whole song
know.
about bills becoming laws, and I never really listened to it, but I'm sure it's important.
So we skip a bunch more years, and then he continues organ replacements and DNA elixirs, and so at this point, he's gonna die. So he sets himself up so that he's gonna die.
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
Because humans live basically the correct amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, what? So
Hold
the
on
message.
A second. Hold
all
on
right,
a second.
what, Dan?
Humans live the correct amount of time.
It's not about correct or not correct.
That's what they say. That's
but the message. You have to look. You have to look through the lines. The message, Dan, is that what makes us special.
Yeah.
Is that we don't last. It's
wow.
that we're just a moment in time.
Hold on
it's
a second.
Beautiful, and you capture it, and then you let it go. That's what makes humanity so beautiful.
Why didn't someone say that?
Dad, you have to look through the lines of this movie because Christopher Columbus and the writer, they weren't on the same page, but they had the ideas, and it's beautiful.
So if you write your own lines for this movie,
correct. Well, you have to because a lot of the lines are not good. Okay,
not good. So then they give him blood, and he's got 30 to 40 years to live. And so he goes back to the government.
Randy, this is one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite lines. Is he's like, "That's pretty ambiguous, Doc," and it's just like a beautiful, humanity. It's uncertain how long so you got to live. You got to live to the fullest because you never know when you're going to go. And life is so beautiful. This is a great movie.
Okay. So you got to live.
You got to live, baby.
So he goes back to the government, and he's like, "I'm old. My body's deteriorating. Let me die a man rather than live forever. Let me die with dignity."
Yeah.
And so how does he go and live this last part of his life?
I don't know. All I remember is them being in bed. What else do they do?
The two of them lie almost in stasis in beds. Is that living your life with dignity and living your life to the fullest?
But the point is that, yes. So we see it as, it's an undignified death. Getting older sucks. It's terrible. But it's beautiful. That's what they're trying to tell you is that it's not that bad. It's beautiful. He is with the woman that he loves. What else in the world does he need? That's it, Dan.
Okay,
just
Tony.
The connection.
Tony, I'm gonna write you a scene.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Let me visualize it. And he's like, I would rather die like a man than live forever. I want to die with dignity. And they're like, as king of the earth, I'm gonna decide on this. He's like, okay. So then he goes and they get on their sailing ship and they're out there sailing in this rough weather. And he's like, batten down the hatches. And she's like sailing with him. And then the Visi call comes up and it's projected on the front of their boat. And they're like, yes, what is your decision? And they're like, you are a man. And then he's like, I am a man. And then he clutches and he has a heart attack and he falls in the drink. No. And then the boat veers into these rocks, and then she's thrown from the boat, and her body crashes against the rocks, and just blood everywhere. And she's like, "I had love, beautiful love," and then she dies.
But all they had there was adventure, Dan. First of all, I love the visuals. I will just say that. I think it's a great scene, but they don't need it. They don't need all that adventure. What they need is each other. That's all you need in this world. You just need to find someone to love. and to love and be loved in return. That's Moulin Rouge, direct quote, and it is beautiful.
So that's how he is that how he wanted to die? You know,
100%.
she's like coughing blood, and what is she still doing? She's spinning on that magic ball, like ooh 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 ooh,
Spinning on that magic ball.
ooh, ooh, and they're like can little can little can.
Oh yes, you can. That's great. It's great stuff.
Is she laying in a bed like bleeding out, and then he's like laying there next to her, like oh whatever, like shooting heroin, like oh I'm living now.
Jesus.
So stupid.
Shooting heroin. This is where I compare it to The Notebook, right? Because The Notebook, that piece of shit movie, horrible love story. They're laying there together, and sometimes she remembers me, sometimes she doesn't. Well, these guys get to spend every waking minute together because that is true love. And then at the end, at the beautiful end, he passes peacefully. He doesn't even need to know that he's a man. Do you know why? Because he already knows he is in here, because he got to spend his life with the woman he loves.
Why is he demanding a thing of somebody else if he already knows it?
Old habits.
Why does he have to get validation from bullshit counsel?
But he realizes he doesn't, so he dies before he gets it.
So he finally figures it out the second before they're going to tell him.
That's life.
No,
isn't
that's
it? Isn't
stupid.
it? That's just life,
That's
Dan.
not living life. That's not living life if you don't figure things out till like the second before you die. He's like,
that's exactly life, and it's beautiful.
Oh, I should let the cat out. Dead.
Just like Dr. Grant. What's his name in this movie?
Dr. Alan Grant. What you're saying.
Whatever. The dad, just like the dad realizes on his deathbed, minutes before he dies, he's like, I was wrong. I'm happy you're free. He has the same experience at the end of his life. He's like, fuck, I've been a man this whole time. I am a human. I am complacent. I am happy. I'm with the woman I love. I can go peacefully. It's beautiful.
See, it's beautiful if you spend fucking 15 years not doing the right thing, as long as you got that 3 seconds of relief at the end.
The moment of clarity. And then the wife is like, kill me too. Beautiful, because I don't want to live without him. And then she looks at him and she says, I'll see you soon. Oh, God, that's beautiful. They're going to spend eternity in the afterlife because he's a human. It's great. I mean, the guy's got a soul.
Couldn't he have made her a positronic brain, and then they could have lived forever together?
Another thing that's interesting about this movie that they should have dealt with more, but they don't, but they do a little bit, is that a lot of humans choose to die. He could have made them live forever. Some people, I'm sure, do. I bet the king of the earth, I bet those people are living forever. But the people that realize that life is finite, they're the ones that you want to be with, Dan.
Yeah, beautiful. As long as they're spending fucking 15 years bitter like garbage. And then she says to a robot, "Oh yeah, now please kill me next." And then the robot kills her.
That's a problem. And it was very funny because they do this big reveal. So she's like, "Hey, kill me." And the nurse is like, "Cool, I'll do that." And then they do the reveal that's like, "Oh, by the way, you're the robot that was dancing earlier." And it's like, wait, she can't kill you. That's not allowed.
She can't kill you. And they act like she's a human being now. Like, when did that happen?
Because she's going the Robin Williams route. She's been taking some organs, you know?
Oh, wait, but that doesn't make you human. Whatever's busted about him, we still don't understand.
But look at that. That's the point. Like, what exactly? The whole point of the movie. What makes you human, Dan? What is it?
Why is she a human now?
We don't know. But I bet it's because she realized in her head and her heart what it means to be human.
So by watching his dumb bullshit, she figured out that she's human, even though he attacked her with a freaking drill, or she tried to drill her brain out.
She's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. They put her back together.
You like this movie?
I did enjoy it. I mean, it doesn't make a lick of sense, but I enjoyed it a good deal.
Oh, there it is. Tony's an idiot. This is the kind of movie I truly hate because it doesn't make a lick of sense.
It does. So, listen, I know a lot of the times I get very hung up on the science of things, and it bothers me. I don't know why it did bother me.
Because of love.
This love story
Tony's all about
got me to my core. This robot who just becomes this human, which doesn't make any sense, but he finds love. Oh, God, I love it. It's great. Good for you.
Well, Tony, I think you could write a better robot turning into human love script. Then
Maybe I
this
will.
movie,
Maybe
good.
this is
You should.
spurn me on to do it, and
Spurn-
I will sell it to nobody.
Yeah, spurred you on. Good.
Got
Good.
your spurs right in my side, baby.
You know what is to spurn something?
Wait, hold on. Are you saying spurn?
That's what you say.
Is that the saying?
Oh, you say spur you on?
Yeah, like with the horse.
Spur you on. Okay.
With the spurs? Is
I
that
thought
not
you
the
said-
same?
I
This
thought
is a
you said.
genuine
I thought
question.
you said spurn you on. You said
Spurn.
spur you on. Oh, spur you on.
Spur.
Okay, good.
Is that what is the saying?
Spur you on?
Or is it spurn? What does spurn mean?
So spurn is to like push away. Spur you
They're
on.
almost
I guess
the
spur
opposite.
you on. Yeah, they are.
I gotta look. I'm gonna have to look this up later. I'll
Spur-
put a
I thought
little
you were saying
addendum.
Spurn, and I was like, why is he saying spurn?
Well, then it would send me away, and that's I don't.
Bad.
Boy, I don't know. I'm all messed up now, Dan.
So Tony loved this movie. I hated it. We disagree.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I understand why it drives you crazy, and I agree. But I'm just like, but it's beautiful.
I'm not going to hate you for crying at this movie because this movie tried to be emotionally manipulative.
Yes.
I don't think it did a good job of being emotionally manipulative.
Totally fine.
And I've seen movies that get me emotionally manipulative, even though I don't like the movies.
Sure.
Usually
sure.
movies I don't watch. We watched something that was very emotionally manipulative. I don't know. So that's Bicentennial Man. Pour one out for
Hey.
Robin Williams.
You know what? I'm just looking at its Rotten Tomatoes right now, just to check and see what's going on. It's got a 58% audience score. So that feels about right with us.
Feels about right.
50-50 split,
It's a 50-50 movie. It's over 50 because there are people that probably saw this and were emotionally affected by it young. But
yeah, and we are. And we're just like, if you ask me questions about some of the things, and I'll be like, I don't know, but I don't care.
I think the director and the writer did not do a good service to a story that could have, if this is a story you really want to write, I mean, but don't make him fall in love with the 8-year-old. It's like, it's weird.
You're just so hung up on this age difference.
When Jacob falls in love with like the baby inside her womb, I'm just like, no,
you can't do it. You can't do it. It's not okay.
It's freaking weird.
It's called grooming, Dan. It's a big thing right now, and people love it.
And the Bicentennial Man took like generations of grooming to get his girl.
It took a really long time to
groom. Multi-generational grooming just to land his girl.
Oh my God. It's fucked up.
So we're going to do today we're doing a little bonus hate because Tony wants to say something about the new Spider-Man movie, which is called Multiverse of Madness.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
And well, Dan, I want to hear, because you said you watched a little bit.
I started it, and then I got to the point where Doctor Strange did the spell.
Sure.
And then I got a little past that. I got to Dr. Octopus on the bridge, and then I got to Green Goblin on the bridge, like the first attack.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm not feeling this, and I kind of skipped sort of through it, and I sort of watched some scenes, and then I sort of tried to watch the end scene. It was just painful to me. It was just
listen.
The writing of the beginning seemed terrible, and it just felt really flat. And it's like I don't like this movie.
I could talk for hours about how much I hate this movie, but I'm gonna keep it super brief and very general.
Sure.
The first hour and a half of the movie is fucking garbage. It is awful. The pacing's all over the place. The writing's terrible. Nothing interesting is happening.
Okay.
And then they do something, I won't spoil it, they do something that makes me upset to no end, and it's so stupid, which is the turning point of the film. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, and come at me, we can talk about it. But then the two other Spider-Man come in. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and the movie becomes a fucking riot. It is a blast for about 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, that makes sense because they are so much better at being Spider-Man than Tom Holland is. Just going to say it now, just calling it out. It's not Tom's fault. It's not Tom's fault. He makes a better Spider-Man. I think his movies are worse. Doesn't really matter. They are more fun than he is.
Well, because that's what I didn't like about this movie is at a certain point when I was a kid, Spider-Man, they did this whole thing where everyone thought Spider-Man was a criminal and a murderer. because they thought he killed Gwen Stacy in issue
Yep.
122, and I
Oh, yeah.
started reading with issue 125, and so it was all sort of J. Jonah Jameson wanting Spider-Man to be, the people sort of were okay with Spider-Man, but they kind of weren't. And that aspect wasn't very fun, and they got rid of that aspect at a certain point, and they made him just into this fun Spider-Man that does fun Spider-Man. This movie leaned into that whole, your life is constantly being ruined.
Yeah.
And the Tom Holland character's not going to ever have any, it's not fun. Spider-Man's not any fun.
And that's so, there's so much to talk about. Yes, 100%. When they come in, it becomes very fun, and then doesn't make any sense. All of the entirety of them, the other people coming to this universe and then leaving the universe, makes absolutely zero sense. And I will, if you tell me, oh my God, I was on Reddit and people are like, well, it's magic. Don't worry about it. It's magic. No, it has to make at least a little bit of sense.
Okay.
We are, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to do spoilers. We bring these villains to this universe, right? And then Tom Holland is like, I'm going to cure them and then send them back to the universe. How the fuck is that going to make any sense? One, you can't affect the timeline like that. That's just not you can't cure them and send them back, because then what happens? So much happens after they do. First of all, many of them are in different movies, right? So you've got Green Goblin and Doc Ock. If Green Goblin is cured before Doc Ock even becomes a thing, how the fuck is that going to make any sense? What happens to Harry Osborn in the original trilogy? It doesn't make any sense. You can't cure them and then send them back and be like, well, they're fixed. So stupid.
Is my sound recording? I don't see my sound recording at all.
Oh my God. If not, we're in real trouble, Dan.
Or am I really quiet? Oh, I'm really quiet. No, so there's something recording. It might be.
All right. Whew. You scared me. I'll turn you up in post.
Turn me up a little bit. Turn me up in post. Yeah, and that was, I sort of skipped ahead, and they started talking about the whole cure thing, and I didn't they should just have to capture them and send them back. Why,
yep, 100%.
Why cure them?
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes zero sense. It's ridiculous and stupid. Well, and then at the end, they're just like, okay, everything's fixed. And it's not, nothing's fixed. Nothing's fixed. Everything is broken. It's so stupid. I hate it.
And as if you can cure Green Goblin's schizophrenia, or as if you can cure Doc Ock just sort of being an asshole.
And then also, I have so many problems. About it? What's next? Now you have to cure everybody? So you can never fight a villain. You have to cure them in every movie you do from here on out. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. I hate this movie, Dan. The one thing that I do like, other than I have a great time when they're all together, I think that's very fun. And I wish there was a good movie in there that I could really enjoy it, because all three of them together is magic. They are so much fun. The
problem is Into the Spider-Verse is like the best Spider-Man movie that has come out.
Without a doubt. Yes.
Maybe ever.
What a wonderful movie. What a treat. And they just were like, let's try to do that, but shitty. The one thing I do like is that they basically reboot Spider-Man, and they're like, you know what? He can just do his own adventures now from here on out.
There it is. So Tony, tell us about something you did like this week.
You're not going to like my answer, Dan, because it has nothing to do with media whatsoever. But guess what, guys?
You got new tires for your car? Is that what
no, I just rotated my tires, okay? I'm an adult. No, come on. As of Thursday, May 19th, guess what, everybody? The Mexican pizza is back at Taco Bell. Everything is right with the world. I got it on Thursday. I got it on Friday, and I'm going to go at lunch right after this, and I'm going to get it today. It is so good. Welcome back, my good friend. I love you. I missed you, and we're all happy.
What is this Mexican pizza?
What do you mean, what is the Mexican pizza? Dan, what do you mean?
What is different about the Mexican pizza than like a tostada or something else?
Well, it's delicious, for one. Okay,
how do they make this stupid thing?
I'll tell you right now. All right, you got a shell on the bottom. You got either beans or beef in the middle, depending on how you want to do it. You got a shell. You have the Mexican pizza sauce, which is the key ingredient.
Okay, so it is the sauce.
So good. And, cheese, tomatoes.
So it's a sauce.
It's the sauce, dude. And so they had this old item back in the early 90s. I think it's when it got discontinued. It's called the Cheeserito. And it was cheese, the Mexican pizza sauce, and scallions. And that's just wrapped in a burrito. That used to be a secret menu item for many, many years until they discontinued the Mexican pizza. And it was gone because you can't make it without the Mexican pizza sauce. But on Thursday, I went there and was like, hey, can you guys make a cheeserito? And they're like, no, we've never heard of that before in life. And I was like, let me tell you how to do it. And then they did it. And it was brilliant.
So it's wrapped in a burrito?
Yeah, it's just like a regular burrito, but all that's in it is cheese, Mexican pizza sauce, and scallions. It is delightful. Guys, go to your local Taco Bell, tell them how to make it, and then get one because you're gonna thank me.
Scallions?
Whew.
Well, I'm going to follow the prompt, which is something that I like this week.
I was just being Andrew and not following my own rules. How about that?
Yeah, great. Schmigadoon on Apple TV+.
What did you say?
Schmigadoon on Apple
I don't know
TV+.
what that is.
Schmigadoon.
Yeah.
It's from last year.
Okay.
Cecily Strong from Saturday Night Live. Keegan-Michael Key. They're like a couple, and they go on a hike, and they end up in a musical town from the 50s.
What?
6 episodes.
Okay.
Do you like musicals? Schmigadoon.
I love musicals. Okay.
Schmigadoon.
Is Keegan-Michael Key funny in it?
It's great.
Oh, good.
Songs are great. The premise is great. The cast is great. It looks like it's shot on a soundstage, so it's great. It's just...
Yeah, love it. 50 so much.
Everything about it's super fun. Shannon hates musicals, so I have to like sneak away when she's like doing something else and watch an episode.
All right.
Keegan's, after The Bubble, I'm like, come on, Keegan. Come on, Keegan.
Well, it's, dude, The Bubble, and then what is the Michael Myers show? The Pentaveret?
The Pentaveret. Oh, man.
I was like, this guy's done. His career's over. So that's great. I'm glad this was good.
Schmigadoon.
I'll have to give it a watch.
Don't worry about Mike Keegan. He's going to be fine.
Let's take 3 seconds and talk about the Mike Myers show.
Pentaveret?
The Pentaveret. Did you finish it yet?
Oh, yeah, I finished it. Shannon's like, why are you finishing this? I'm like, I just got to see.
You have to.
I got to understand what is going on here.
But you didn't. Oh,
what
do you mean storyline? Because the story I understood. I don't understand what's going on in Mike Myers' head. That's what I don't understand.
Oh, you mean why they would make a thing as terrible as the Pentaveret?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I have no problem with dick jokes and poop jokes, but good God.
Yeah. It's
God.
too many. But that's coming from a guy who doesn't love poop jokes.
I love them. I love them.
I know. Well, I know. You're a big fan.
They're hilarious if you make them a joke.
That's a big first step. Yeah.
He just like the one that killed me was like to join the whatchamacallit, you have to have your dick pulled or something. And you're like, I don't understand what this is. I don't understand what this is.
Because that doesn't make any sense at all. 0 sense, and it's not very funny because it doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Once you saw Bigfoot actively crapping on the floor, I'm just like, what is this? I don't understand what this is.
Yeah, no, it's really bad. It's really bad. And I love Mike Myers. I miss him.
Anything about it you liked?
Nope, don't think so. I don't remember. I think I laughed like 2 or 3 times in the 6 episode run. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good at all.
Okay, Tony, you have a movie.
Yes.
You gonna serve up a movie for us for next week?
Oh, have I got a movie for us? Brand new. I'm on this brand new kick because we keep making terrible movies.
Morbius?
Yeah, it is Morbius.
It's Morbius!
Yeah, it dropped on Vudu this week. I bought it, and we are gonna watch it, sir. Woo!
I'm so excited because I think.
Oh God!
I think this one's gonna. Is it under 2 hours? Please tell me it's under.
I didn't look. I don't want to know. I feel if I'm to guess, I would say no.
God damn it.
Yeah.
But I expect this to be beyond terrible.
Oh, it's gotta be. I watched the trailer on Vudu when it popped up, and I was like, "Woof!" I don't even remember seeing the trailer at this point, which is weird.
I'd seen it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be really bad.
Okay, Morbius. Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
good.
I'm pumped.
Works for me. So yeah, so this is a split decision this time, but there
Split
you go.
decision.
Tony's a big sap. I think we all,
Yeah, okay, I'll take
we
it
all knew that.
for robots. You know,
He loves thinking about robots and women.
I love
Falling in
and
love.
put them together, and you got yourself a delight.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I started watching Made for Love.
Yeah, you did.
Holy moly, that first episode. Holy moly. Holy moly. I mean, I knew what the premise was, but
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You know, if you haven't watched it, I'm going to spoil something. If you're going to watch it, she makes it home, and Ray Romano, her dad, is having sex with a living doll or whatever those things are called.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like 10 out of 10. This is so
10
weird.
10
This
out
is
of 10. I'm
like,
in.
like what a scene setting thing
Yeah.
that, you know, like
You know what you're getting into right away.
You know, you're like, I haven't seen that before.
But you will.
Yeah. So that's my other pick. Of like, I have about 12 things to pick, that none of them are the Mexican pizza. But
that's too bad. Dan, go get yourself a Mexican pizza. Just one. I know you're eating healthy, but it's got tomatoes, so it's good.
It's got tomatoes, so it's okay. It's okay because it's got tomatoes. Can you get it with beef and beans?
Oh, you can do whatever you want. You can make it special.
How much did they charge you for the cheeserito?
So what I ended up doing, they have this dollar menu item. I had to do substitutions.
I want you to remove this, remove that, add this, add that.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little secret. It's the cheese roll up on the value menu, and then you just add Mexican pizza sauce and scallions. They charge me like $3.
$3? That's insane. Yeah. $2 extra for scallions and sauce?
Yeah, I mean, they got to make money. Egregious. Everything's expensive.
So if you like what you saw here today, leave us a comment, leave us a like, leave us a subscription, and we'll be back next week with Marvel Universe favorite son, Morbius. Maybe,
see you then.
Maybe even Spider-Man will show up.
I hope not. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch him!